Today we have a diamond / masters, mostly diamond, set of Terrans in TVT, except one of them is not like the others. One of them stands accused, they may not know it, of hacking. So, with the accusations of Belphegor, and I quote, "He was on point when I tried to doom drop and targeted by random units on the map," which is potentially an offense and potentially something worthy of a look. It requires an investigation, so let's call in the team. All right, so the accusation is my opponent knew what I was doing, which, yes, there is a chance. There is a dream. Let's just speed through. No scout, but that's a standard Terran build. That's just like Terran in general. Bad Terran build, going for Marines. Smart Terran be looking at that, so far, very much in the benefit of the doubt category. Though getting slightly more suspicious with time.
New subscriber detected.
Impsombrate is chillin' for 1 month.
That pre-split is a little interesting. So, all of this so far could have been explained by mild incompetence. But it's starting to get, you know what? I will be honest. So far, so suspicious. Like, yes, there could be a Hellion out here. But the confidence with which our Terran hero, and this is his vision, technically can see the Hellion. Yeah, that's a bit... That, I mean... that's a bit but soon after, the tank comes out. So there's a Reaper here, out of vision, but at any point, no. I guess there's a chance it entered some vision there, because of the SCV on the high ground. I don't believe it did, though.
SCV ready. Roll out.
Well, that was quite fortuitous.
Supply depots in.
Huh. Like, there was the Reaper hasn't showed up for quite a while. And then he's showing up. Like, I'm giving it, we're at a solid strike in the early game so far. Not all, like, none of it is 100%, but it is very close. And it's quite blatant.
SCV ready.
Add off.
SCV ready.
So the clear thing is he's not very good based on just his general, like, this is a good example of a mediocre player just essentially catching every good break. Except maybe it's not catching every break.
Researched.
SCV ready.
Alright, he's not bad as a player in general. So, the army is right there. Has not been seen. Now, sieging up your tanks is no indicator, but unsieging, repositioning, and resieging with no vision is a bit. It's, Yeah, he has actually not yet crossed the halfway point of the map. Just getting scanned in general, there's a scan, but getting scanned in general is cause for sieging up, I will say. That is a good reaction. But the process was started before the scans happened.
Command center upgraded.
Both sides obviously need to work on their macro here, one way or another.
Mineral feed exhausted.
This is when you most definitely scan. You have to scan. We're not at a high enough level that not scanning is a tell, but it is gross negligence not to scan here. In fact, it still goes horribly because this is a terrible fight. It's a lot of dead tank. It actually just loses the fight. Like, that was like, he actually just lost the fight. Beautifully done. Yeah, it was a very confident walk into a losing battle. Well, and then, there you go. This feels like a scan for the, like, this is what makes me think, alright, I'm leaning towards accurate on the map hacking. It makes me think he's not, like, reliant. This is someone who's, like, trying it out, is what it feels like. Like a mediocre player who's trying it out. Because he still has the instincts of a mediocre Terran. Like, that scan was mostly reflex. I think, after seeing the army with his eyes, like, this would be a normal scan-ish for your average Terran. Like, but it's weird to do it at exactly that timing. Like, that was a weird timing to do it, but it was a good scan. Because what are you trying to accomplish with that?
Oh, good. Now I have your attention.
He's got to
The
stop
Six is
scanning
showing for
directly
54
on the
months.
army. Like, it's like, you got to scan, like, off to the side. You got to strategize it. You got to scan, like, here and only catch the edge. Like, he's scanning directly on top of it each time. Ah, he's too slow. His fake scanning, plus, like, he can't actually fake scan and move his army fast enough. That's the problem. At the end of the day, in StarCraft, just knowing where your opponent is not enough. it's not enough.
SCV ready to blunder.
There's nothing over there. That's just the Raven auto turrets of what you still see on the minimap. I think they're drawing his eye a bit. Okay.
Center upgrade.
Like, so far, it's nothing decisive, but it's very, very sus.
Field depleted.
SCV ready.
This is actually an argument against it. Now, this is partially why bad players are still bad players and map hacks don't really matter, assuming he has them. Of course. But, like, he could not handle moving his army across. Even if he knew this army was coming, he couldn't manage to put everything in the right spot. And if he didn't know the army was coming, then he's just your typical mech player. So those are your options. I was like, well, I guess I'm going now. Honestly, that move was an argument against the map hacks. Or an argument for how little they matter. Like,
Mineral field depleted.
yeah, the one thing that will seal the deal for me, though, is if he accuses his opponent of map hacks. In which case, well, there you go. Bake them away, toys. That is definitely, like, that's where we're at right now. He's got a, I was about to say he has a nice setup to not wall off his own tanks, but then he just slapped down those few tech labs.
Ready to blunder.
Add-on constructed. Gangway.
Okay.
Ready to blunder.
Like, he's either too slow or...
Spended.
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go.
Get the fuck out of here!
That is not... There is nothing. That is blatant. Like, they're... Combined with all the other suspicious stuff, that is pretty blatant right there. It wasn't... I'm not saying you couldn't predict a drop. There's been no drops, but there's been no vision, there's been no intent, and there's been no holding the Viking. Like, if he had the Vikings there most of the game, and was only... You could explain it away. But this is way too much. By the way, you didn't... To win this game, you did not need to doom drop. This was a dumb idea, like in a straight-up game. Just your coaching bit. You could have just attacked. You have 3-3, up 50 supply, maybe one drop in attack. Especially if you suspect them of map hacking, but they're obviously bad. This was way too risky for no reason. Even against someone who doesn't necessarily see it. There's your coaching tip. But it does potentially give away... Yeah, that's... Yeah. Just to be clear, this is the information he has. Once again, the Vikings have been sitting over the army the whole game. They've been sitting with the army. He doesn't actually have any army hotkeys. So that's a whole effort. There's been no, like, habit of patrolling Vikings in the
Now I
corner.
have your attention.
He moves the Vikings back and
It's
sets
since
the
Winter
starport
is
rally
training for
points
70 months. Hey, Winter and
as the units get loaded up. Which is... combined with the other suspicious activities is a bit fucking much from me.
Vespine Geyser exo-
If, honestly... An average Terran, that wouldn't be that suspicious. A lot of players will patrol their Vikings, especially against Bio. But the only time he's done it is exactly that time. But
Ready to blunder.
Is there an army here? He has no vision, by the way. Oh, yeah. The scans are kind of a giveaway for a smarter player, but... Yeah. Don't do that. Don't. No. No. You got one. No. Is our bio hero gonna leave the game because he ran into siege tanks once? Never mind. He did what I said, which is just attack, and it worked. I take it back. There weren't nearly enough tanks. Marines are good. He's too slow. He's far too slow. Wait a sec. That's siege up though. I didn't even really. I just kind of.
Mineral field depleted.
This better be good.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Ready to roll out.
Mineral.
It's not just the staring at the fog. It's the then I'll immediately siege up without scanning or anything. That is. What's there? Like, I could see a scan. If you wanted to fake it, you'd scan right now. Which would not be a bad time to scan because you're moving and you need to keep your unit safe. And then he gets scanned, which I guess is good plausible deniability.
Mineral cluster.
Oh no.
We could use some help here. Ready to blunder. Blunder. Hey, boy.
Mineral field depleted. Base under siege.
Well, here we are.
Visor exhausted.
I'm in deep.
I don't know if a base trade is the situation you want to get into with a Bioterran if you have the Heckarinos, which I've already determined.
Base.
But once again, not the smartest player.
Mineral cluster expended.
Quite a mess. So he actually does lose. Well, let's go back. Let's go back. I wasn't even paying that close attention, but let's slow it down.
Under siege.
What was that? A camera location? Did he pre-drop those?
Gangway. Coming through.
He did not, but that was just running away. Not that it matters at this point. It's very clear. What are you gonna do? Lift? What a block. Why does he have Marines with combat shield? So, yeah, he's map hacking. And it's map hacking, too. Like, I don't know if it's the mini-map. It very much looks like it's actually just the map is revealed. So, did it help him? Not much. Like, it probably kept him in the game a little bit longer. But there's an argument to be made that especially for mediocre players like this is Diamond. If you just concentrated on what you were doing, you'd probably be better off in the not even long run, but in the medium run. Then, because obviously here, trying to figure out what your opponent is doing meant he was struggling to do what he wanted to do in the first place. So yes, there you go. I agree. Accusation upheld. I judge him guilty of 1, gross incompetence, and 2, map hacking.
Shame.
So,
Shame.
the investigation is
Shame.
complete. If you find dead on the ladder, don't get too fancy. Yes, he loses. He loses this game because he's just too slow. Now, he went for the slowest unit composition, which has the least opportunity to take advantage of knowing where your opponent is. So, but no one ever accused your average map hacker of being smart. So, there you go. Huh. Sucks, but also a little bit of... He lost. Straight up. So...
Oh, good. Now I have your
Take it to
attention.
Bobby.